So again, I wanted to introduce, my name is Lori Woodruff. We're going to go through this webinar to really go over how to count pips for profit. As you were getting into this market, you have got to know how this works. And it's be very exciting so that you can get through this and really just make the money that you want, either on a daily basis, a weekly basis, or a monthly basis. All right. So thank you very much for those that had chimed in. For those that are shy, I'm gonna let you get away with it right now. But I'm assuming it's at least 6 months or under that you are trading. In here, you're going to take a look at, there's a couple of things that's going to make sense first. You don't want to just jump into intermediate or advanced classes if you haven't done beginners. I make it a point on mytradinglounge.com. That is our team website. You need to go on there and take a look and see what's going on the calendar. Next week, for example, is going to be another class on how to place trades. All right, so that may be really good for the one that said I haven't placed a trade yet. But understand what you're listening to today is not going to sound the same next week or next month or even at the end, next couple of months. So there's a couple of things you want to get done out the way. First of all, you want to get through the academy. No matter how it sounds, you want to at least make sure that you're getting through that first so that you can know the fundamentals about what are the pairs, why are we trading, who are the market participants, what are lot sizes, what is a pip. All of those basic things are going to be in the basics 100 through 400 section. Technical analysis and mindset. Okay, we're not going to go too deep into either of those today, but these are the kind of things you want to stay on top of at all times. The requirements are, we like to have fun with trading. We got to have fun with trading, and it's not to disrupt your life, but you want to make sure that you are having fun with it, y'all. Yes, you're going to make mistakes. Yes, you're going to win. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to win. That's the whole purpose of being in a demo phase. And when you're in a demo phase, you can mess up, you can win, but you're going to be able to at least get yourself on some kind of consistent pattern that works for you. All right, before you go live, you need to make sure that you're mastering things like this in this particular webinar so that you can do great things in your live account. Some of the requirements you need to know is be aware of the news, not the Channel 4 news. I mean the forex news, anything that could disrupt your forex currency pair. I use my FX book. It is a download that you can do on your phone, and you definitely want to make sure that you have some kind of news app that's going to give you the forex pairs. Trust and believe, I will be doing another video that you can tune into to find out how to load the My FX book onto your phone and what's the importance of it. All right. So before you start trading, you need to know some of these things may interrupt your particular pairs when you're trading. So be aware of any news that could disrupt your forex currency pair. Also, you want to know in this video how to count 1, 2, 3, however you do it, y'all, on the fingers, with a piece of paper, and a calculator. When in doubt, do you have a calculator on your phone? It's something simple, but as long as you have these things, I'm letting you know these are the requirements so that you can do great things with this particular webinar. What's going to be covered this afternoon is going to be what is a pip, how do you properly count pips for profit, how to calculate pips and lot size, and the forex majors, minors, and gold and Bitcoin. So remember, a lot of this is in the academy. This is just a video so that you can get right in front of you right now so that you can get the basic information on, all right, let me get this straight. But it is in the academy so that you can refer back. All right, who looks like this right now? Green? Are you yellow? Or are you red? Chime in. What's your color? What's in the chat box? I know we've got 2 months, 2 years. You got green. All right, good. She's feeling pretty good. So you're feeling pretty good about your placements of your pips, of your pipology. How are you feeling about placing and counting pips? Got it. Y'all are funny. It's just a color. By the end of this webinar, you should be feeling a little bit different. I want to make sure that you are relaxed. You got this, and it's all about confidence. Okay? Now, let's first of all talk about 5 tips for a successful trader before we start getting involved with what we're doing. All right, so you guys are mostly yellow, kind of like in between. I like that. All right, so let's change that. I am a successful trader is what should be coming out of everyone's mouth every single morning and every time you focus on trading. Every time in the morning before I get up to start trading, you just don't want to get up and just start opening up the laptop. You got to get your mind ready for this. This is more mental than just placing trades. It's 90% mental, 10% actually physically placing trades. 90% mental, 10% going through the academy. 90% mental, 10% looking at the charts, figuring out the best setup for you. So again, if you could hold questions until we finish up, I'm going to get through this so that we can make sure that we are addressing the questions all throughout the webinar. All right, so the group that we belong to is FX Trading Lounge. You've seen that a lot. But Daniel Buffet and I began that in 2017 because we knew that the group was going to get large. So our immediate group, what you are a part of, is FX Trading Lounge. Of course, we're a part of a bigger group that trades and shows us how to trade, but I wanted to also give some successful tips for what a successful trader does, okay? Number one, what we're looking at is you got to recognize patterns in the market. You can write things down, you can take a snapshot, but again, this will be recorded so you can go back and always take a look at it. You got to recognize patterns in the market. Is it an uptrend? Is it bullish? Is it a downtrend where you see candlesticks going in the downward position? Is it bearish? You need to know these things as you are beginning to trade. Is it going to be picked up in your very first month? No, I promise you it's not. But it gets better as you stay consistent. Know when to trade and not to trade. Okay? Sometimes you ever get that feeling that you shouldn't be in the market today? This is not a good time. It's not a good time. You will figure that out. For me personally, I don't trade on Sundays. I don't trade on Mondays. And I do not trade on Fridays for profit. I may put something in my demo account, but I am not trading on those days. You got to pick a day. Is it just going to be one day a week that you trade? When are you going to trade and when are you not going to trade? I'm not going to be trading at 2 o'clock in the morning because I'm not up. I'm not fresh. Some of you are doing this challenge right now. You're up. You're up for the challenge. And I applaud many of you who are doing the 30 for 30. I made my 30, but I was up at 7 o'clock to get it done. So you have to figure out for you, trading is personal. It's nothing to do with what your neighbor is doing. It's not to do anything with what we're doing. What time is best for you? Number 3 falls right into follow a plan. How many days a week are you going to do this? How many pips do you need to satisfy your financial requirements? Are you trading just to have one bill paid every single month? Are you following up with your sponsor so that you can figure out, I need a game plan to figure out how to lose my job, thank you, how to leave my job, how to replace my salary with pips. With the Forex market, I need a plan so I can get the heck up out of here. What's your plan? Okay? You got to manage risk. Before we think about profits, we have to think about how much am I willing to lose for this particular trade? Okay, how much am I willing to lose and be okay with it in relation to my reward? And the last thing is, y'all, this is simple. It's not simple, but it is pretty simple to see. Be patient. Allow the trades to come to you instead of you chasing the trades. Your anxiety will be lowered, all right? And you won't feel as if you're chasing the market. If you set the pattern up right, you manage the proper risk, and you're not doing crazy lot sizes, you follow your plan, you can be patient and you can be stressed less because you're not worried about, dang, what if it hits the stop loss? Well, if it does, okay, that is a possibility. But you set your lot size at a decent size, so you should be okay if it were to hit the stop loss. And it will. It will. Okay? It's just a part of the business. If you're winning at least 60% of the time, you're doing great. If you're winning at least 40% of the time, you're doing excellent. So please don't think that you have to be winning at a 90% win rate. I'm speaking to someone that you don't feel like you have to do that. If you're winning and profiting at least 30, 40, 50, 60% or more, you're doing great. All right? The whole goal is to multiply your account because banks are not doing it. CDs, certificate of deposits, are not doing it. Mutual funds are not doing it. So you have to find another avenue, forex, which will allow you to multiply what you have in your account. You can have a $200 or a $1,000 account, but what is it doing in a savings account? Learn how you can multiply it in the forex market, and then you'll start to see, wow, should have did this a long time ago and brought some friends with me. All right. All right. So let's get started. Let's get started. First of all, we're going to go into welcome everybody that just got on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I wanted to at least make sure that we know what is a PIP. Before we get started, when I break things down, I like to repeat things so that they are understood. What is a PIP? You hear that often. PIPs pay my bills. Follow the PIPs. You should be trading, huh? Well, what is a PIP? Well, a PIP is simply a point in percentage. It is simply a point in percentage. So if you want to call it a point, that's cool, but it's a unit of measure and expresses the change in value, whether it increases or decreases in the value. So let me give you an example, because this is how I had to do it when I started. I needed to relate everything like real estate. If you purchased a house for $200,000, the market moved over a couple of years, and now the value is $300,000. That measure, that change in value, is called equity in real estate, but in the forex market it's called PIPS. All right, that change, the value between the 200,000 and the 300,000 in real estate, that's called equity. Here it's called PIPS. That's it. So it's just right now it's just shifting and changing a little bit the way we speak to adjust. All right, so does everybody make sense of it? It's points. It's the difference between the opening and the closing price. Whether the price increases or decreases, you're talking about wherever the price started and wherever it ended. That difference in between is called a PIP. PIPs pay the bill. So let's break it down. Get pen and paper out, because this is the part that gets everybody all tripped up. This is the part that gets everybody all tripped up. Make sure that you have pen and paper if you really want to see this do well for yourself. I'm going to go into the live chart as well so we can actually make sense of this too. So let's break it down when it comes to PIPs. You have got forex pairs that have 5 digits typically after the decimal point. 5 digits, okay? Anything that has forex majors or minors, they're going to have 5 digits after the decimal point. So when you look at this relationship, when you see GBP USD, I just got an example of one. You're trying to figure out, what does that mean, GBP USD? And what that simply means is, if you take a look at 1 Great Britain pound equals $1.22 in US dollars. 1 Great Britain pound equals $1.22 and 752 in US dollars. That's the relationship. So whatever is first, whatever currency that you see is first, it's always 1 equals. And whatever this currency value is that you see, it equals that in the second pair. So let's break this down, because this price is actually broken down in 3 different areas. First of all, you've got your 1.22 is your base currency. I just said 1 Great Britain pound equals $1.22 in US dollars. That's the relationship. So somewhere around the world, the Great Britain pound, I'm trying to say that too many times, and the US dollar are being exchanged. They're being bought and sold against one another. And whenever you see candlesticks on the chart, yeah, you see green candles going up, you see red candles going down. What does that mean? Well, the bulls and the bears are just fighting for position. So you've got sometimes that you've got the Great Britain pound may be stronger. That's when you see a buy, the price is going up. If you notice that maybe the price is going down at that time, at that particular hour, in that particular couple of minutes, it could be that the pound could be weaker. So that's the reason why the price will be going lower. All right. So base currency is $1.22. Now we get into how do you figure out pips? Because when you look at this number, most of us, like normal human beings, would look at this and like, well, in order for me to count my pips, I'm looking at the 5 and the 2. No, you're not. You're looking at the 2 digits to the left of the last digit. So I underlined it so that you can clearly see what the pips look like here. So 75 would be your pips. 2 would be your pipette. So again, all of this is covered in the academy so you can know the breakdown, but I just wanted to break it down and just remind you what this means. When you're taking a look at the Great Britain pound, and we'll look at this on the live chart, if you're looking at this and you need to count, all right, well, they're saying let's go 10 pips for profit. If I'm putting in a buy order, I'm anticipating the price to go up. So that means that these digits, of course, this price is going to increase. Well, how do I calculate 10 pips? Well, you're going to take a look at the digits I have underlined so you can fully focus on it. If you need to add 10 pips to what you currently have, your current price is here, 1.22852 would be your take profit. If you just wanted to go and place a trade, I just want to go in the market 10 pips for profit. Then if the market is increasing, then I'm going to add the pips that I want to the base price that I see here. All right. You're not going to fool with the 2. It's like a silent E, y'all. It's just a waste of time. But you bring it back when you're doing your final completed number. Okay. So the pipette is not in your calculation at all. It is not in your calculation at all. But the 2 digits to the left of that, yes, you want to focus on that when you are paying attention. Also, if you notice in MetaTrader 4, when you're going to place a trade, when you've got your currency pairs up, you see 2 prices, right? You've got one to the left and you've got one to the right. Well, understand which numbers are actually bigger for us small folks here on Earth. They did that for a reason so that we can focus on, wow, those are the pips. That's why they're bigger than the other numbers. Okay? All right. So 1.22752. Your 1 Great Britain pound equals $1.22. It is, if I needed 5 pips, if I just wanted to go 5 pips, and let's say I'm going in a sell direction, that means the market is going down. My price is going down. And that means I'm going to subtract 5 pips for my profit and to come up with my take profit price. So if I'm just subtracting, let's say 5 pips from what I have, my take profit price that I would input in my MetaTrader 4 when I'm placing a trade would be 1.22702. All I'm doing is subtracting. Everything in here is either you're going in an upward position for a plus or you're subtracting. Okay? It's a plus and a minus. We're not going to go too deep into stop losses because I just want to make sure that everybody can count. Okay. So let's look at GBP USD on the actual chart. I did this today. So you can kind of get an idea of how in the world do you really count these pips. And like I said, if y'all have a calculator, sometimes this can be easier than you think. So what I did was I took a chart here. This was in Trading View. This is in TradingView. Everyone has access to tradingview.com. You can open up a free account so that you can have access to the charts. You can also go to your broker of choice. If you go to Hugo's Way, hugosway.com. You can go to fxchoice.com. If you need to get the specific broker's chart, you want to go to that site. So I go to hugosway.com, look for download MT4, and you'll have a chart right on your desktop. Same thing with FX Choice, fxchoice.com. Look for download MT4, and you will have the charts available to you. But I just did this in TradingView for this example. All right, so on here on the right-hand side, what you're going to notice is all the time what you're going to see is the price is going from low to high, from low to high. When you're taking a look at these candlesticks, remember the candlesticks are measuring time. This particular one, I just did the 1 hour chart. So every hour is an activity between buyers and sellers, buyers and sellers. Somebody was buying the Great Britain pound and they were selling it. Someone was selling the Great Britain pound and buying the US dollar, whatever. It was back and forth. In that particular hour, this is the result. So let's just say, for example, you're going in and you're thinking, all right, well, I see something on a harmonic scanner, or I got a signal that I wanted to place in. I wanted to make sense of these numbers. What do these prices actually mean? I put a line here and I put one up top here just so we can see how to subtract and calculate pips. Here, this first bottom line, I just placed it anywhere. I just did it random. For this example, it's 1.21827. That is your price. I'm going to write that down, 1.21827. And let's just say I'm going long in the market. I know the price is going up. I saw the harmonic scanner that the price is going up. If the computer is forecasting that it's going up, here's your take profit price right here, 1.22752. So you're trying to figure out, how in the world do I count this? Well, don't worry about the 1.22. Just look at counting. What is the pip difference between 21,827 and 22,752? Now remember, I'm not worried about that pipette. Don't trip up over the pipette. You're just looking at 2275 and the 2182. All I did over here, if you look over here to the left, I just subtracted 2275 and subtract 2182. That's a difference of 93 pips. Calculator, y'all. Calculator, that's it. Calculator. So the difference between this means from this price where I went into the market, it increased 93 pips. What does that mean in money? Remember, the lot size is what's going to control how much money do we make on these trades. The lot size is going to control how much money that we make. The lower the lot size, of course, the lower the risk. Anything that we're talking about right now are basic for beginners. Basic for beginners. These are the three standard sizes that most traders know about, all right? Micro lot size, mini lot size, and a standard lot size. A micro is your smallest, and it's not. And when you look at 0.01, you're thinking that's only a penny. How am I going to get rich, like they said, doing this? Move your decimal point one to the right. One to the right, and now you see what it means in forex terms. In forex terms, it's actually equivalent to 10 cents per pip. 10 cents per pip. If you chose to increase and do a mini lot size, you're at $1. Not what you see. It's $1. Move the decimal point one to the right. And a standard, at least if you have at least $10,000 in account, you want to support something like this, standard is going to be $10 per lot size. And of course, you can change. You can do 0.03, 0.07. I'm just giving you an example. So on this particular trade, if you went in and you noticed that there was a 93 pip potential, Everyone in this room could have put a different lot size on here. If I chose to do a micro lot size of 0.01 and it took profit, count the candlesticks and see from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. About 17 hours later, I would have made profit, and so would you. So 0.01, I would have made $9.30. If Tanya would have put a mini lot size on that same trade, she did $1 and she made a profit the same time, we hit it the same time, then she would have profited $93 in her brokerage account. Nice, right? If Lawrence, Big Daddy Lawrence, put $10 on his same lot size, he would have made $930 in that same time period. We all had the same time, right? We all had the same trade, but our lot size is what's going to trigger what's the difference. So be very careful that you put in the proper lot size and you don't over leverage. There is under the resource tab under our mytradinglounge.com, if you need to get the helpful reference on what lot size that you need for how much money is in your account, please go over there at any time and download that form. It's very helpful because it's going to show you, based upon if you have a $100, $300, $1,000 account, what should your lot size be when you're placing these trades. Don't get yourself too wrapped up on, I got to get rich tomorrow. No, remember, 5 steps. Said be patient. This is a steady process. As long as you can get consistent with making $1, you can get great with making $100, but be patient. So we're good on the lot size. All right. Now let's say, for example, I don't want to go 93 pips. Like I don't want to wait that long. I want to do more day trading and I want that thing to pop within like before lunchtime. If you looked at 21827 and you just wanted to go 10 pips in the market up, can somebody please in the chat box let me know if you're just increasing this price right here by 10 pips? You're adding the 10 to the 82 is what I'm trying to give you a cheat sheet on. Can anybody please drop in here, what would your price be for your take profit if I'm just going for 10 pips? Come on, guys. What you got, what you got? Your bank account depends on this. Yes, 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 yes. You're right, absolutely right. And bring back the 7. That's it. Okay, so that's it. Now, if you wanted to go in the opposite direction, let's say the market is going downward and I wanted to take profit 10 pips, but I'm going down this time. Please share with me, what would your take profit be? Now you're subtracting 10. Exactly. Right. Right. So Sean, we see the prices there, 21,827. All right, you got it, Sean. All right, cool. 21,727, exactly. All right, so you got to make sure that you're fixated on the 8 and the 2, and that way you can focus on it. You know, a lot of times when I first got started, I was really confused with that stupid 7. Like, why is it even there? Why is a silent E there? No one really knows. So great job, everybody. Great job, great job, great job. All right, so now that works well with anything that is a USD, all right, pair. Minor, major, it doesn't matter. But there's one pair out there, the JPY. The JPY, it's different because it has 3 digits after the decimal point, not 5. So you're going to notice that some pairs look different. How many digits are for the yen? Well, anything matched with the yen only has 3 digits afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen, it works the same way. You still leave that last digit alone. Leave it alone. It don't mean anything. It doesn't need anything. So let's just say you saw in the harmonic scanner that the entry price is 130.806. The take profit is 132.400. And you're like, I like it. I'm going to go ahead and put that trade in. Now, it's a lot of pips in here. Of course, you can always modify your own take profits. You can always modify your own for your own personal trading style. I personally don't trade anything this long. So if I'm typically trading, I like to go bite-sized pieces, and I'm only going for 10 to 15 pips per trade. I'd rather get a little bit than try to wait for the whole thing. You got me? Because it takes hours, like you saw in the other, it took 17 hours to get from here to there. If you just wanted to take profit here, like within 2 or 3 hours, you would have made your money right around this mark, right? It was still going up. And who's to say you can't get back in the market? Who's to say you can't duplicate that trade? Oh, it's just 10 pips. Well, if I put that trade in maybe 2 times, 3 times. So instead of just 10 pips, maybe I can make 30 or 40 pips when it does hit profit. You can lose it as well, but just letting you know there are ways where you don't have to do a long swing for each time. Chop that thing up and put in there bite-sized pieces. You'll quickly you want to get the bag. You don't want to wait. If you do want to wait, then you wait. But here's an example. Entry price is 130.806. Your pips are the 8 and the 0. Your pips are the 8 and the 0. Your pipette is the 6. Here, let's just say your take profit is 132.400. Again, in order for you to figure out how many pips is, you don't have to do all of this. Pull out that damn calculator. You got this. Subtract. Here we go. I did it over here for you. 132.400 minus 130.806 is 159 pips. It's 159 pips. That's a huge potential for a lot of money. So let's just see how much money that would be. If you did a micro lot size, you did 10 cents. Sean did a micro. He did $15.90. Okay, great. He increased his savings account. He's happy. If you did a mini lot size, Erica put that money on there. She got a little bit more money in the bank, and she got $1,000 in her account, and she has $159 profit. Okay. Now the last one, as I said, you want to have at least $10,000 in that account for you to support that higher lot size. That lot size being $10. Sharon put that in there, and she saw $1,590. Everyone, Erica, Sean did the same 159 pips, but everyone made a different amount of money. So only the yen, anything paired with JPY, is going to look different with the digits. It's not going to be like 1 point or 0 point. It's going to have 3 digits after the decimal, whereas all the other pairs you're going to recognize it has 5. Okay? Is everybody clear on that so far? Drop a 1 so I can at least know we're on the same page. Everything's feeling pretty good. This should be a good refresher for a lot of people, because mistakes happen, and it's right around this area when you're stressed out, you're tired, and you're not calculating things right. Good deal. Pull out the calculator. That's it. Pull out the calculator and then just do a quick, subtraction where you want to be and where the entry is. Okay? And that's going to be how much pips. From there, you want to figure out, based upon how much money I have in my account, should I be doing a 0.01, which is cool, or can I do 0.02, 3? And as I said, go to the resource tab under our page under mytradinglounge.com. Pull that down, keep it with you so that you have good reference. All right, cool. Now, this is for beginner information. What I wanted to do is show you, because some start learning how to trade other different pairs. And I'm only giving this information out because some of you are going to want to know this, but this is not something I'm saying go into it right now. This is more advanced, and I'm saying that because it moves at a different pace than the regular pairs do. I'm going to show you gold how to calculate that properly. And I'm going to show you cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, so that you can calculate that the right way, because it's different. Because it's different. Okay, so this is not something you want to just run out and just do. Figure out, first of all, what pairs you really want to deal with. When I first got started, I was with the grandma pair, y'all, AUD USD, and I was so happy with that. I was like, yep, she's moving slowly, real slow. And I was like, I'm not making any money with this. And then my team, they were doing GBPs, and I'm like, well, dang, that thing moves fast. Pat, in that example, it was 159. It was 159 pips. In that, because I didn't put on anything, I didn't know. So then I started moving up to the GBP pairs. Anything with GBP USD, GBP JPY, because the pairs move at a faster pace. So that means you get more money, shorter time. More money in a shorter period of time. So you got to figure out which pairs are going to work for you. You do not need to capture everything that's on the board, right? You pick one boyfriend, you pick one girlfriend, and that's it. If it's going to be a family, cool. If it's going to be the GBP family, fine. If it's going to be the NZD family, fine. If it's just going to be gold, pick that and just stick with that, because you don't want to complicate your mind with a whole bunch of activities. When I go to the harmonic scanner, I'm only looking for the GBP pairs or EUR. I'm not looking for AUD CAD. I'm not going to place it, but I'm only looking for the ones that resonate with my plan. Okay, I hope that hit for somebody there. So I wanted to at least introduce you how to calculate for gold, because it's different. Because it's different. All right, so let's look at this example again. Now, remember the relationship, this pair is XAU USD. It's a metal, XAU USD. So when you see that, remember with the Great Britain pound, it was 1 Great Britain pound equals like the $1.22 for the US dollar. Here in gold, gold equals right now $17.45, $1,745. That is the relationship to gold. All right, so gold equals $17.45. So let's look at it on the chart, and we need to calculate once again. If you saw this and you needed to calculate, here's my entry, 1726.638. You would think kind of like the yen. No, it's not. All right, so you can't calculate it the same way. Take a look at your entry and take a look at your take profit. Let's come over here and let's subtract it out. I'm just going to subtract 1726. Forget the pips wannabe on the side. Don't worry about the digits. Just get the whole numbers, the 1726, and you can, if you want, to get the 0.638 if you want. But it wasn't necessary just for this example. If you want to get very precise, you'll do 1745.462 minus 1726.638. What you're going to come up with is 19. It's a difference of 19. We're looking at whole numbers here. Whole numbers. It's like when we count money now. It's like when we count regular money. Gold is that way. Bitcoin is also the same way. It's not the same way in the regular forex pairs, all right? So that difference is 19, but multiply it times 10, because that you get more money with gold. You make more money, but you got to be careful. This is a little bit more advanced. So 19 pips, you multiply that times 10, and that's how many pips that difference really is. So this difference is actually 190 pips. 190 pips. Doesn't even take much. It doesn't even take much. Okay? Each one, if it were to go 1726 to 1727, that would be 10 pips. And it's like very small in space. Very small in space. So demo this so you can see the performance of how it works and calculate the pips on your own. But this is whole numbers. These are like real normal numbers. 1726 is subtracted from 1745. Multiply that times 10, and that's how many pips is your difference here. For someone who needs to know how much money is that, 10-cent lot size, that person would make $19. $190 or $1,900, depending on what your lot size is. So be careful with trading that. Be careful with trading that. Bitcoin, same thing. Whole numbers. You're just going to subtract the higher number is here and your lower number is here. All you're doing is subtracting 94.50 from your higher number. That is actually 289 pips. That is actually 289 pips. That's it. So this, you see why there's a difference on which pairs you're going to do, because there's different little nuances and things you have to figure out between, is this a forex pair, is this an index, is this a metal, is it a cryptocurrency? Pick a lane, follow the plan, and just stick with that, because you don't want to mess yourself up with money. Okay, so this is how everything works with cryptocurrency, is just take the whole numbers. Okay, now I'm going to show you another way that you can calculate these pips. I'm back on to TradingView. I pulled up a chart and I want to show you on here on the left hand side are some helpful tools, and I'm just going to use, let's just say you wanted to figure out how much in pips it was when it rallied from here, the lowest point, all the way up to this point right here. You're going to get your measuring tool right here on the left hand side, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to get that, drop it at the bottom, and drag it to the top. This is GBP USD. All right, that area right there, let's look at it and make sense of that. Up top it says 0.01412, but to the right of that it says 141.20. It's 141 pips. It took 16 hours for that to happen. All right, so here is another way so that you can at least clearly see how much money is it from wherever you start to wherever you finish. You can always use that tool. And if you want to do more, say, well, how much was it when it rallied all the way up? It was 208 pips, 208.40. Okay, 208.40. So that's just another way that you all can just, the calculator works and the ruler works. It gives you the information right in front of you. Now let's just say, let's go to gold. Here's that same example. I'm going to get the measuring tool and I'm going to take it from the low point to the high point. And here, when you take a look at it, you're going to move the digit to the left. Or if you see the number, if you see the 1621 figure, I'm not all the way up top, but this actually was 19. All you're going to do is just take that number and multiply it by 10. And that's how you got the 190. Let's start at the bottom. There. You see that? Well, a little bit exactly, but that shaded area is how many pips it is. In that very first digit that you see, 19.149, you're just multiplying that times 10. And that's how many pips that you actually have. It's 190 pips. Okay? So with knowing that, you've got two helpful ways to get your count done. You can do it with the calculator, you can do it manually, of course, or you can use the ruler so that you can easily get to it. Okay? Any questions? There is the information right there. So that is how you can pretty much calculate the PIPS on your own. Make sure that you're coming back over to the mytradinglounge.com to take a look at helpful information, the calendar, the resources that has more information about how to calculate and switch, how to figure out if you want to change your job or if you wanted to leave your job, how can I replace my salary with PIPS in the Forex market? Those kinds of helpful forms are going to be there. If you haven't done already, make sure that you are subscribing to our YouTube channel. It's right under FX Trading Lounge, okay? And that's going to conclude the webinar.
So it's the PIP.
So I wanted to just make sure that I opened up for any questions.